bridge!
Good evening, mortals. Oh my god. Your timing was immaculate, Aki. Immaculate.
I know. I'm fully aware.
Good evening, everyone. Welcome to Exalted. I am having tech problems, which is why we're a little bit behind today. But I'm here. Oh god, I forgot to do something. Everything is great and wonderful, and yeah, everything is great and wonderful. We're playing Exalted. How's all my friends doing? Hello, friends.
Friends?
Womp womp.
Womp womp.
That's how I'm feeling today.
I'm
alright.
Me too, fam. Me too. This one. There. Alright, now people can't make green hell noises at me. Okay,
Damn it, no bear noises?
that's still in there. That's classic Jorb stuff. Oh my god.
Bold of you to assume I will not continue to cause chaos.
Aki just fucking handcrafting bear noises over here in the modern
High
age.
quality. I've been crafting all day. I can just
HQ
craft
bear
more.
noises. Hello, everyone. Hello, Abby. Hello, Blair. Hey, Blackthorn. Bear breaks down wall. Oh, I have a fun bear-related story for everyone. I realized why the bear noise freaks me out so much. It involves trauma. Anyway.
Sorry for laughing, but yeah.
No, it's very funny. Like, I almost died when I was a kid, but, like, I'm not a kid anymore, and I'm alive,
Yeah.
so it's pretty funny. Anyway, oh, Ambi needs to meet up. Oh, Ambi, I want to talk to you. Anyway, hello. Welcome to Exalted, or Princess, or something. We are, if you guys will recall, we are in the air above Italy, just landing, actually, outside an active war zone between what appears to be a collection of soccer moms and doting fathers and princesses in goth clothing. You guys remember all that? Does that sound familiar?
It's a really weird parent-teacher interview.
This is a very weird parent-teacher interview, yes. I'm going to do my thing with the pattern spiders, so you guys flirt amongst yourselves.
Oh. Sure you want to word it like that?
Okay,
Gay.
pattern spiders. They
Oh,
can't hear me right
so
now, but
gay.
you guys can.
Gay.
Which means I can go like
Oh.
this. Hey, Ambi.
Gay.
Gay.
Anyway. Let's,
flexing.
let's
I don't know if I
involve
know
them
this, but
again
just like for some
before-
reason. Yeah,
Were you guys just seductively saying gay at each other?
No.
Yeah.
Which was saying suggestively gay. I was just aggressively saying gay. I'm flexing in real life to do this, just FYI.
Are you flexing while gay? Is this the gay agenda? I've heard a lot about it.
Yes, welcome to the gay agenda. We
So
have
Hey.
aggressive gay.
I am joined by my good close friends, Aki, of course, my coolest, closest, bestest friend.
Gay.
Secondly, we're joined by my wife. I assume I will be sleeping on some couch-related surface tonight.
Why?
I introduced Aki first.
I don't care. Zaki, of course.
I love you, dearest. I'm also joined by my good friend Sam. I'm just going down the list in Discord, I swear.
I think he's mute there.
Oh, hello.
And of course, my good close friend Sue Crown, who is mute for the moment, but will be joining us. And lastly, and potentially least, actually, I think Witch, you're the shortest friend I have.
Oh,
Witch!
fuck you. Hey, man. What can I say? I'm fun-sized.
For very many reasons. No comment.
Many.
Yes, like, I don't know, we're on Twitch, Witch.
Gay.
Also gay.
Yay!
Oh god. Hey guys. I missed you all. Okay, so the war between the Karens and the princesses. Blair's like, oh my god, what have I missed? Okay, anyway. So, you've just arrived in Italy in a unmarked airport just outside the combat zone. From here, you can actually hear what sounds like artillery fire. There's quite a few military planes and trucks driving into and out of this depot. It's clear they're gearing up to go to war.
Alright, guys, no one's got weapons in their hands, right? Make sure one has weapons in their hands when we open the door.
It's okay, I don't have my weapon in my hand.
I don't either.
Joe's unarmed.
Ben, darling, your weapons are your hands. Are you gonna put them in your pockets?
Someone buy a bear. No.
Shut up. Okay,
Ambi.
Okay, guys. What should we do? I guess we gotta talk with the military, convince them that we are not going to cause any more problems. And then we'll have to find the
Hey, Witch,
parents? Yeah?
did you ever invest in the war skill?
Yes? Yes. 2 whole points in it.
You should definitely have maxed that out. But the war skill
Too bad.
helps you here because, well, you understand what's happening.
Alright, should I do a roll? Oh.
Not yet, but it may come up. Heads up.
Alright.
Anyway, you're immediately approached by a few soldiers, one of which walks up wearing a different uniform. You guys can pretty easily identify him as some sort of commanding officer. He walks up and says in accented but very serviceable English, please come this way, the general will see you.
All right. Just to recap, does anybody remember what we more or less had planned? Which is, like, some of us want to learn more about the Queen and the princesses. Some of us want to go directly to, like, helping to quell actual combat, and we're not sure. Wait. Who? There was a third option.
Did you want to choose the side of the parents concerned for their kids, the princesses who are potentially evil, or
The Italian government.
the Italian government, who is pretty upset about this whole endeavor?
Joe's approach is, and remains, given that these aliens / queens are stealing children, he would like to learn as much as he can about how they're doing that so he can stop them.
I remember. And then Ben told him off, saying, yeah, you probably shouldn't go and try to talk to these queens that could probably just kill you instantly.
Joe kind of glanced at him and was like, want to come with?
No. Joe?
Anyway,
Joaquin, buddy. I think you and
Let's see what the
Mercy.
Italian government has to tell us.
so you enter a building that clearly used to be like a public, a small strip airport terminal. So there's a fairly large room with some chairs around it, but it's a couple vending machines, a ticket desk, and some seating. It's not meant to be used on a large scale, and it's certainly not meant to be used for military operations, but it's clearly been taken over. Temporary tables have been set up. You can see topographical maps of the area around, and there's one man pointing at a map, looking at other people, clearly giving them orders in Italian, which probably no one here speaks. And
Joe speaks Spanish, I could roll linguistics to try and understand the cognates, but
Sure, but he probably speaks English. He finishes giving orders, sees you coming in, walks up and says, "Oh, good. I'm glad you're here. We could use your assistance. Please come this way." And he leads you over to the table.
Cool.
So
Ben's gonna sit down.
there's no chairs around the table. People do not sit at the War Council. He begins pointing out areas. Oh my god! Hang on one sec. I have to talk to a pattern spider. What the fuck, MB? Anyway, he points out some areas on the map and starts rattling off some figures to you guys, which don't make a ton of sense, except please roll intelligence and war. Oh, thanks, Hobbs.
Ben,
I love you too.
Given that you've got the excellency.
Yeah. Sure, let's do this.
See, Abby,
Let's
be
see
like
where
Hobbs.
it. Oh, I
Everyone
don't
should be like
Marshall.
Hobbs. Hobbs is sexy and cool.
Go away.
All right,
Things
I
away.
will now leave. You are left in a lightless void.
Oh.
I get eaten by a grue.
All right, you attempt to be
And
eaten by a
rocks
grue.
fall, everyone
Unfortunately,
dies.
you unfortunately fail and are surprised by a grue. It then proceeds to eat.
Punch the crew.
Oh, don't get into this, witch. There's no. This is a DMing learning tool. Don't.
I begin to play Careless Whisper to the grue.
The grue, seduced by your careless whisper, immediately enfolds you with its tentacles and slowly and sensually kills you. You are dead. Try again.
No,
Finally.
we should go on with this game.
Yes, we should. The pattern spider said, "On smash." Do it. All right. So Ben, the figures he's rattling off to you are troop dispositions, supply counts, routes that they're using to get into and out of the combat zone, or they're planning to use. They haven't gone in yet. They're waiting on the order from the Italian government, which has been even more delayed than they expect. He's also rattling off some rather less useful data, like what they expect to come up against. He seems to assume that what you're going to go up against is basically just like two insurgency groups that he will easily wipe the floor with because he has a few tanks and some jets. And he's excited that you're here because in the middle of all those facts and figures, he also tells you that he's a member of his local Church of the Exiles.
Cool.
Just to be clear, if he's a general who works even somewhat directly with the leadership of the Italian government, Joe probably knows his name and has heard about him from them.
From the Italian government?
Joe's been pen pals with everywhere for months.
Sure.
It's a lot of work.
Sure, but the Italian government wouldn't tell you the name of its generals
Fair. All right.
at the drop of it. Like, you could look that information up, but I don't see how that would come up.
Okay. Disregard.
Yeah.
All right.
Maybe you've heard of him, but, like, you've never met this guy.
All right.
We're not in Japan, Abby. We're
Put a
in...
pin on that for
We're in
later.
Italy.
Oh,
Anyway, but continues to describe the situation, and then he looks up at you, Ben, and he says, "You're the god of war, yes?"
I wouldn't call myself that.
Oh, you also notice several flaws in his deployment plan that stem mostly from misunderstanding the roles of some of the troops under his command. For some reason, you just kind of know where they would best be. Are you going to tell him anything about that?
Yeah, he'll just casually like, okay, those guys should go there. Those guys should go there.
Yeah,
Where specifically are these individuals posted? Where's the head of each of these armies?
Yeah. So you're just like, you casually just say, oh, I don't know if I'd call myself that, and then correct his troop deployments.
Like, this guy that has 0 military training just talks military better than the fucking general.
Yeah. He looks down and he looks offended for a moment, and then he, like, you can see him doing calculations in his head, and he kind of shakes his head a little bit. He goes, yes, I can see why you were given that position, the title, however godhood works. Tell me, can we count on your support for this fight?
Well,
Joe's going
yes,
to.
we-
Joe would like to speak up at least a little bit, and he says, Ben, I think we should at least tell him what he's up against.
Yeah, you want to be the one to tell him about the super depressed, super powerful princesses and their child kidnapping
He's
queens.
looking at you guys intently.
Honestly, if I knew more, I would be more comfortable doing so. I would be just as likely to misinform at this point as to inform.
You know
But
just as
suffice it
much
to
as I
say-
do.
Suffice it to say that we are dealing with the supernatural here.
He nods and says, right, demons.
I wouldn't call demons, but we suspect
I would say very sick children.
sick
So far
children
off the
under the
mark.
control
So
of a
far off the
powerful
mark.
entity that has been known to steal children to turn them into soldiers.
He nods. Yes, we've fought groups like that before. Understood. I'll request additional support. What is your battle plan?
Honestly, I have no idea. But right now, I think we should get a better idea of who's all involved. I especially want to have my buddy Joaquin
Understood,
here, or Twilight, and our lovely fuck, I forgot.
Zenith?
Not Eclipse. Mercy is the Zenith,
Zenith.
yes. Zenith. Yeah. I want them to talk to these parents and figure out what their plans are, what they have material-wise, supply-wise.
Okay.
And then we need to locate these princesses,
Okay.
figure out their goals.
Nora, you see a rabbit leave the terminal. A small white rabbit.
Oh no. I'm gonna follow the rabbit. Because I'm a
Cool.
child.
Nora runs off.
I'm following Nora
Okay.
because this,
Elijah's also following. Everyone's like, nope.
because the last time that she got out of our sight, the bad things happened. So
We
Yeah.
even say that there's a bit of a pattern here.
Yes, there's almost like a pattern here. Hmm.
Plot?
When Ben
the plot
sees
is
that
going this way.
When Ben sees that she goes off and Mercy and Elijah follow her, he's like, yeah, she'll be fine.
Okay.
Uh,
I assume you're following the rabbit, Nora?
Yep, I say I follow that rabbit, bro.
I love how, like, innocent and cute Nora is, and then meanwhile, Wit is just like, follow that rabbit, boy!
Get it? Get it, get it, get it, get it, get it.
So, you follow it. It seems to always kind of be going around a corner. It does this a few times until you follow it to a park bench where it is sitting.
A park bench?
Yeah, like a bench outside one of the buildings. It's just sitting on the bench.
Okay. I walk up to it.
Okay. It just sits there.
Can I pick it up?
Do you try?
Yes.
Okay, you go to pick it up, but it moves out of the way at the last second. You end up sitting down on the bench hard, kind of hurting your tailbone a little bit, and then it jumps onto your lap.
Aw. Pet.
Okay. You start stroking its fur, and after a few moments, you feel a little drowsy because it's very comfy, and the rabbit is not moving or anything. It's just kind of sitting there, relaxed, which is nice. And then it jumps off your lap and runs away again.
Am I still very sleepy?
No.
Alright. I follow the rabbit again. Unless I look around the bench. Is there anything around the bench that seems like it was trying to lead?
No, but when you look around the bench, your head swims a little bit. It's a little strange.
Oh no. I need to get me some more of that rabbit high. Let's go.
Alright. So you follow the rabbit. It runs into, it kind of crawls under a building that's a little elevated and runs into a small space.
But that being said, did I ever get my butterfly back?
Oh, yeah.
Good. I'm gonna ask for it to come out and be like...
Okay. Now, I know how this sounds, but it's not here.
Wait, what?
Anyway, do you follow the rabbit?
Yes.
Alright. You go
You're
crawl
not gonna
through
do anything about this.
the small, dark, under the building area, and you come out in what looks to be an outdoor cafe. Meanwhile, everyone else watches Nora run around the buildings a little bit, sit on a park bench, and pass out.
Elijah and I were following her.
Yeah, she was running around buildings, sat on a park bench, and passed out.
None of us... Wait, did any of us see the rabbit?
No.
No.
And did any of us hear her say anything about a rabbit?
Nope, she didn't say anything about a rabbit.
No, she didn't. All right. Oh, no.
Well,
For the
that's
record,
Mercy and Elijah's problem right now.
Just to be clear, Mercy and Elijah have gone off in chase of her.
yes. A couple bits of housekeeping here. First, Ben, the pattern spiders have granted you an XP for the correction, they say. And
guys.
the pattern spiders are recommending that you murder the rabbit. And also, Master says hi to the wife.
Wait, who said hi?
The Bong Master. I don't know if you know them, but...
oh no, I know them from Dork Tales. Hi!
Oh, neat. Yeah, that's the wife.
That's the wife.
Hello.
Hello!
The pattern spiders are telling you to either kill or eat the rabbit, possibly both.
Well, that's difficult because we never saw it. We don't know it existed. Or if it So, Joe
Potentially.
wants to advise the military not to start bombing anything, and instead to devote its time to information gathering.
Okay. After you explain it, the general nods and then says, "We'll talk when War gets back." The Dawn.
Oh, he never left.
Dawn is
Oh,
literally
okay,
still
sorry.
standing there.
Sorry, misunderstanding on my part. He looks to you to give direction. Like, he's clearly got a favorite.
Fair. He's a general.
And
They
just
don't
has,
have the
a
holy
blank
hand grenade
stare
back
for a moment. Well, I think we should focus on gathering information as well as evacuating civilians, ensuring their safety.
He nods and says, "Good idea." And then he turns around and starts giving a whole bunch of commands in Italian.
Joe glances at Ben and says, may I leave this in your hands for now? We'll have to see what they turn up.
Hi, Ro.
And I need to regather the others.
I'd rather not be left with this, but
Uh,
go get the others. I still want you and Mercy to go talk to those Bethlehem parents.
Oh, they don't like me already, but I'll do what
Yeah,
I can.
you need to go and apologize.
So,
And Mercy's good with people, so...
so at the
Thank
same
goodness.
time, Elijah and Mercy, what are you doing?
I mean, we were following Nora.
Yeah, so she's
I
now
suppose-
she's passed out
So
on
she-
a park bench.
I'm gonna try and wake her up.
Cool. What do you do?
I shake her shoulder. I
Okay.
call her name.
She does not wake up.
I guess she's dead.
I give up immediately and go to war.
I shake her harder.
Okay. How hard do you shake the small child, Nora?
I mean, I've only got 2 strength, so it's fine. It's
You're
fine.
also an exalt. You're literally perfect at shaking the baby.
No!
Oh, that was horrible. I'm sorry.
That was really
Don't say
bad.
that about my soon-to-be
Oh
wife.
my god. No, you shake her quite a lot, but she's not waking up.
Okay.
Meanwhile, Nora,
Heyo.
you are now in a cafe. You're seated, but you don't remember sitting down, similar to how a dream would work.
But it just seems like it's like, yeah, this is right.
Yeah, it seems correct. And a tall woman that you recognize, wearing medieval-style plate armor, sits at the table across from you.
And I don't recognize this woman.
No, you do. She's familiar. You know her. You've met her a few times in your dreams, which immediately tells you that you're dreaming.
I'm like, oh, shoot. This is a dream, isn't it?
She nods and says, "Yeah, it's sort of." Or sorry, Queen of Hearts. Hang on, let me retry that.
Yeah.
She nods gravely and says, "Yes, and we're beginning our attack soon." A door is open between my world and yours, and as long as we can get our princesses through, we should be able to go back to trying to save the world with you.
And so, does that mean that the princesses that are on this side don't belong to you?
She shakes her head and says, "No one belongs to anyone. But the ones here are trapped here until we can get them back to your world to reincarnate. Think of them like souls. They're the kind of people who will become good, strong, powerful, kind royalty. But they
Then
can't
who
do
are
so as
these-
long as they're trapped here.
Then who are these dark ones on this side? My side.
I don't know. I regret to admit that I have been unaware of the goings of and happenings of the world for a very long time." She looks down at her armor and then looks at you and says, "How long ago was this relevant?"
A very long ago. Very, very, very long ago.
This was the height of technology when I was queen.
Are we exactly?
This is, well, my home. This is the city and the country that I rule over. At the request and the blessing of the citizens, this is where we are from.
And you say that there's a door that's opened or is going to open?
Sorry,
Hello?
1 sec.
Oh, okay.
I was typing and I can't do that and push to talk at the same time. She says, "No, the door is already open. I believe another queen has opened it for some reason I don't understand. But if we can break through the darkness to that door, we should be able to have our princesses reincarnate into the world once more. Unfortunately, there is an army of darkness trying to prevent us from doing so. My fellow queens and I are doing everything we can, but we need help."
How can I help?
You're on the other side. Is there anything of use? Is there any weakness in the lines of the forces of darkness? Is there any information or knowledge you could impart that may benefit our armies?
I think currently on my side is there's a war about to start between dark princesses and I think their parents and the Italian government.
She holds her hand up. Dark princesses? There's
They're
no
not,
such
like,
thing.
They're wounded, they're sad, they're angry. They're different.
Real quick, hey, Joaquin. I know you're not in Roll 20 right now, but Mercy was trying to get your attention.
Ah.
Yeah.
And yeah, that was a technical issue that I was having. I will try to reconnect.
No worries. Basically, Mercy just calls over to Joe and nods at Nora. I need in her drains.
Joe, Joe comes over. This is an out-of-character question, but, like, it's based on Joe's knowledge of, do you have Spirit Cutting Attack?
I do not.
Then he cannot teach you the charm.
Okay.
He can only teach 3 at a time, and that's his entire mode pool. And unfortunately, that's how many prerequisites there are past.
Yeah,
Spirit Cutting Attack.
I've been trying to learn more occult, but...
Storyteller, is there any chance that he can try to cast somebody else into her dream?
Can you link the charm that would allow that to happen?
It's the soul delving one, and I will link it ASAP.
Okay, I'll continue the scene with Nora while this happens.
Yes.
I will also note that all things are possible with pattern spiders. Anyway, so the queen says dark princesses shouldn't exist. Princesses represent the light of hope. It is our duty, our responsibility, and our honor to preserve the light and all that is good in the kingdom. A dark princess is a thing abhorrent.
Unfortunately, that's what they are. I've heard that they are the dethroned. They're the fallen princesses.
She shakes her head. Much has changed. I will never recover from this great shame.
What should I be looking for on the other side? What's a clue to be on the other side of the door?
Do you know their force's disposition?
The darkness?
Whatever it is that's blocking our way. There's many creatures of darkness on the way to the door, and then we assume there are more at the door.
Well, we just landed here in Italy.
She shakes her head. I'm not familiar with that country.
It's...
Sorry, actually, she says, I'm not familiar with that kingdom.
Yep. We just arrived at this place before I began dreaming.
Before you
Was it the
followed my
rabbit?
hair.
Yes.
So
I haven't had a chance. Yeah, but at least now I know what I'm looking for, so if I go back, I can see what I can find from there.
I won't be able to send you another message. Here's what we need. We need light to guide us through the door. If you could somehow produce enough light, demonstrate enough hope in the Dreamlands themselves, we should be able to fight through and get to you.
Okay.
Your friends are trying to wake you.
I should probably go back then and let them know.
She nods, and I have a war to win. She puts a helmet on her head, closes the visor, and stands.
Tall heart, mummy.
And she bows slightly and turns and walks away. And as she does, you can see the dream collapsing behind her, turning white, and then eventually the white becomes the bright sunlight that you just opened your eyes to. Mercy is heatedly talking with Joaquin and pointing at you.
We had to find the door.
What?
A door.
What door?
there's going to be
All right,
a
plot introduced. Let's do
flood
this.
of hope and light, but it's what? Darkness.
Yes, that is what we've come here to fight.
There's a door that connects to the Dreamlands, but they're being stopped by the darkness from our side. The darkness is preventing the good queens and the good princesses to get out. And it's on this side somewhere. I have to find it.
Can we trust any queen, any princess aside from you? The others seem to have been...
I trust her.
Joe.
Yes.
A door into a land
Of
that
dreams.
seems very quite upside down, like a mirror of where we are.
Ooh, they made a
Like,
bad
say-
connection.
Through a portal made of flesh and bone,
Do you think that's it?
which means that somebody, if that's correct, then somebody is opening portals to these dreamlands
To try to
using void
invade.
tech.
And trying to invade.
Are these dreamlands the same ones that we heard about recently?
I would argue that we've been to them.
Yes. The
remember
dark
what,
place.
remember what Anita was talking about, right? Where there's... we shone light upon creation, or how did she phrase it? We brought light to somewhere there where there wasn't for quite some time, and the darkness could not get back in.
And that's exactly what the queen was just telling me. She's gathering her princesses on the other side, but they need a guiding light to be able to fight through the darkness. And that's what my job is on this side to do. To gather hope and just the will to fight the darkness. Hope and devotion. We have to get to this portal.
Hope and frustration war for prime place on Joaquin's face. And he says, I wish we knew more. Who can we trust in all of this? If you trust her, perhaps she is one more person who wishes to bring light to this place.
She said that in her time when there was no disconnect between the lands, that these dark princesses didn't exist.
Tell me a little more about her. What did she look like? How did she speak?
Well, for instance, she said that her armor that she was wearing was the highest point of technology that they've ever had. So it seems like it's been hundreds of years since they've been here.
It's actually been a lot
can Joe
longer
get
than that.
a description and figure out what time period it's from?
Like a lot longer. Sure. Nora, give me a intelligence and... hang on, let me check. Intelligence and craft.
And craft?
Craft, yeah.
I mean, if history would be lore, that would be...
Yeah, but princesses don't have lore, they have actual history or academics. So I'd substitute academics.
Oh, substitute academics instead?
If you want. If
Okay.
craft or academics, dealer's choice.
Okay, well... that means I just get to roll one more. I rolled 3 successes.
Okay, so Nora pretty accurately describes how the armor articulated and worked, and
Her
Joaquin,
voice.
it sounds like nothing you've heard from history. It sounds quite a bit more advanced than even like Milanese plague got to be, which makes sense since she's a possibly magical creature but also makes less sense because a lot of the things that Nora is describing are just innovations to how to work with metal. Like, it's not necessarily magic, but it could have been magic. It's hard to say.
So basically, it's if history had diverged at a certain point, this might have been the peak to which they reached. Technology never entered the picture. Technology beyond metalwork of, like, to make plate armor.
More like if master smiths had centuries to perfect their craft and also had access to magic, might be the result, but it's almost impossible to tell what time period it's from because of the way that it's built.
Yeah, it's basically a divergence.
It predates
like, if
every
a place had
modern
been
nation.
physically separated instead of magically, it might have become
too,
this
yeah.
thing with magic. All right. So he shakes his head. I can't tell when that would have come from. It's been centuries. I agree with you. We need
actually
to
been a
figure
lot
out
longer.
what's going on here in Italy.
The Babel
We need to
Project.
learn what these depression princesses are doing, and if we can't understand how to fix it, perhaps making light in these dream worlds is something we can resort to.
Yeah.
I just wouldn't know how to craft another portal like that.
I don't think the point is to craft another portal, but to use that one, but clean it.
The portal in China was destroyed.
Well, maybe there's one here.
Elijah, you know the scent of void tech, don't you?
Yes.
So, how close would you need to get to figure out if there is void tech?
I've memorized it, so depending on the wind, it could be within a mile. Actually, ooh, I could do it up to 400? No. I can extend the range of the actions by 400. So, I don't know what the regular rules for tracking are, unfortunately. We'll need to take a look at that.
It's usually a perception and survival roll.
Yeah, but it's allowing me to extend the range at which I can track things.
I think the range is going to be based on whatever the storyteller says you can achieve.
For what it's worth,
Yes.
you would be able to detect a void tech from an exceptional range, depending on the size, amount, and severity of void tech infection. You cannot detect it currently.
All right. Yeah, I can't currently detect it, but
Jordan,
Yes.
quick question.
Quick answer.
If I carried Elijah and used lightning speed,
Uh-huh.
would we be able to search faster that way? Like, would he still be able to...
Absolutely not.
Okay.
With the wind whipping by his head at literally ridiculous speeds, that would make it infinitely harder for him, actually. Also, I would point out that, sure, you might be able to avoid the combat if no one else on that battlefield has the ability to match your speed. And there is straight up magic going on out there.
Uh-huh.
Just saying.
That's why I make Elijah face backwards, and then he can use his gun.
No. That also makes that harder. No, that won't work. Fuck you.
Joe places a hand on Mercy's shoulder. I think we need to talk to at least one of the sides, and as you've all
I
been
didn't say any of that out loud, by the way.
Oh,
Or
okay.
any of the, last bit out loud, but just...
The last thing that was said was
that if he could detect void tech.
And he said, yes if I'm closer, right?
Yep.
Because I super don't want to get bogged down in a rules discussion about tracking by scent in this session.
Yes, if I can get closer. That is what I said, yeah.
Thank you.
Joe kind of like looks between him and Mercy and says, "Between us, Mercy and I can get you closer. While you search, if we do that, and while you search, we need to talk to these crusaders. Mercy can reach them where I was unable. I want them to know that we want to understand the princesses so as to stop the queen."
Okay.
All right.
So, who's
Let's
doing what?
Ben is still being awkward around the general, trying to figure out what to do next.
All right.
Why
He
don't we
hasn't
have
heard any of this.
Joe has a suggestion. That while
Yeah?
the general gathers information on the locations and what have you, perhaps we can find one of the camps. But if you and Elijah, if you guard Elijah while he tracks the Void Tech, Mercy, the Zenith, and I, out of character, he'll be using the Zenith, not anybody's name.
Okay.
Like he'll be using their titles. The Zenith and I can try to make diplomatic inroads with the Crusaders.
Sounds like a good idea.
He glances at Nora. I don't want to bring you in contact with these parents. It's going to be difficult.
Okay.
Would you like to go with Ben and Elijah?
She's not coming with
Sure.
us.
Oh.
Where
Nope.
are we going to leave her in the company of the army? That seems almost as unsafe. And
Well, maybe we could just put her back on the plane.
he shakes his head. She's never been content to just remain behind. Isn't that right, Nora?
She nods.
She's coming with us. She's the one that needs the portal.
But it's a literal war zone. We don't know what we're up against. We can't bring a child into a war zone.
To be fair, half of this war is children, so
I worry that she would be less safe from the Queen of Mirrors with the army and in the ship, in the plane, than she would be with you.
Fine.
Elijah,
Fine.
you heard the Queen of Mirrors last time, right? I remember you dashing off.
I need context. I need confirmation on that one. I don't know if I was able to hear her or if I just sensed her presence.
Okay, I just
believe
remember
you just you sensed her and you were very confused because you thought that you should be able to remember what she had said specifically, but for whatever reason you couldn't.
Okay.
Between you and I, it's because she wasn't actually speaking. She was basically talking to whatever Nora's version of an exaltation is.
Okay. I will blah that. The part of like what I could.
Yeah.
That like I saw her,
not
but
the
did not-
OOC explanation.
Oh.
I figure.
Yes.
So at the very least, she needs to be with Elijah. Because I didn't hear anything the last time that Nora was attacked by this Queen of Mirrors. Joe didn't. You didn't, Ben.
Well,
She needs to be with the one person that can protect her.
The general says, "Oh, that's strange."
What's that?
He says, "This storm here," and he indicates a satellite map. This doesn't make any sense. This area isn't prone to storm.
Oh shit.
The supernatural is involved in this battlefield.
He nods and says, "This complicates matters. I can't have my aircraft flying through this."
Yeah.
Look, you see here, and he indicates like a long, snaky line through the storm. He says, "That's lightning." By the looks
Must
of
be
it,
the Queen of
possibly forked
Storms.
lightning.
That's
Did
not
we-
good.
Did we know that there was a Queen of Storms?
We do.
Yes.
Yes, you do.
We know only that fire is involved usually. But that's what Proxy Valkyrie can tell us. Joe says, raises his phone and says, "I am.
Ian says, hello.
Can you get me high quality, any higher quality satellite imagery, particularly of anything that might be a camp for these Bethlehem Crusaders?"
Oh, you don't need that. They're not subtle.
Oh, good. Please?
Ian pulls up the same map that you're basically looking at and points to what appears to be a collection of vehicles parked in a field.
Sevenfold paths joined?
Eightfold.
Eightfold, sorry. He says the correct thing.
Okay.
Out of character, I forget names.
Ian says, what?
There's, someone who's difficult to remember, who has been helping us. I was hoping he might be nearby.
Oh, okay. Well, that soldier, and Ian points, doesn't actually have a registry with the Italian army. He approaches and walks over and says, "Oh, do you need something?"
Yes. If anything, advice. What
Right.
do you make of what's going on here?
Well, judging
Anything
by
we-
all of this, I am wildly out of my depth, and my advice is to punch anything that seems to have the mark of evil on it until it stops having the mark of evil on it.
I agree.
I don't
That's
think
not
that's a...
something you should agree with.
I think the Unconquered Sun would declare all of this side of the field at least creatures of darkness, and that they would be banished from his sight, and that these people are mortals in way over their heads. But I don't know the politics of this world. This could be complicated, and my official advice as your advisory is to just attack anything that seems like it needs to be attacked.
Thank you, and I will take that into account. Ben?
Oh, I'm
believe,
not joking. You guys should be able to tell if something is wrong. So
Yes, of course. I agree.
If it seems like whatever you're fighting deserves to die, kill it, please.
So, there you have it, Ben. Elijah, if something attacks you or seems wrong, it still feels wrong to me that we should fight children. Try not to kill anyone, okay?
Eightfold looks over at you, Elijah, and says, "You do understand that these aren't actually children, yes?"
Yeah.
Beg pardon?
Great. Trust the knight to be the practical one.
Twilight. No, Eclipse. Not Twilight.
He looks at you and he says, "Are you sure?"
Yes.
Oh, well, so much for stereotypes. Are you... Huh. Okay.
Before we fight anyone, I want to at least start with knowing what the fuck is going on. We need people to go talk to the parents. We need to figure out where these queens are. Because we can go through as many of those princesses as we want, but no major difference is going to be made unless we cut the head off the snake. And I don't know anything about this Queen of Hearts or whatever, but right now, queens are dangerous until they can be proved otherwise.
Okay.
I believe we have our directions.
Who's going
Mercy
where?
and I... Pardon?
I said, okay, who's going where?
Mercy, I believe that means you're with me, talking to the Crusaders. Ben, Elijah, and Nora, you're trying to find the portal, any void tech that is here, and anything that you find on that battlefield is useful information.
Awesome.
Should be kept away from the battlefield.
That's your job.
How about this? Mercy and I will go investigate. You and Elijah can go talk to the parents with Nora.
As I said, Nora's the one that needs the portal.
Yes, but we also need Nora to survive.
Joe
War.
frowns. Joe frowns. I think that Nora is safest with you and Elijah as a team. I don't have the power to. I don't have the confidence that I can protect her like you can.
I'm going to transform, Jordan,
Okay.
into my princess mode.
Okay, you transform into princess mode. Transformernoise.mp3. So after one Sailor Moon transformation scene later, Nora is standing in her full regalia.
Can I sense darkness as a princess?
You have sensitivity, which means that evil acts done within your sensitivity's range are noticeable to you.
I'm guessing there's a lot here.
But no, because you're not actually close enough to the battlefield to trigger your sensitivity, which is quite low.
Okay.
That's a good thing. Sensitivity is a weakness, not a strength.
So I must
In this
basically go
world.
around with like one of those metal detectors and go beep 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 beep.
Nora's just walking around until she finds someone who
The darkness!
Nora's walking around until she finds someone who didn't put the shopping cart back.
Evil!
God.
Elijah takes out the long rifle.
In all seriousness, though, Joe's opinion, which he'll communicate to Ben as best he can, is that Nora is going to be here one way or another, and she's not going to be safe.
And you literally got 1 minute before she takes off just doing her own thing, so hurry up, guys.
She tends to do her own thing, so he would prefer that be seeking out the portals with you, not without you.
By the way, Elijah, the pattern spiders like that you bucked the stereotype trend and have granted you an XP.
Nice.
Oh, thank you.
Ben at this point,
Mercy?
he's like pinching the
Mercy?
bridge of his nose.
Mercy
She's
walks
going
up
with
to Ben.
Elijah wherever she goes because he's the
let
one who can.
Aki talk, please, guys.
Mercy walks up to Ben.
Okay.
Ben, darling,
Yes.
do you trust me?
Yes, I trust you.
Then trust me. She'll be safest with you. I know she will. I wouldn't trust her with anyone as much as I do you. Okay? And she reaches up and she gently cups Ben's face.
Okay. Okay.
Whoa.
Ben kind of just like leans his head forward, just kind of rests his forehead on Mercy's head for a moment, and then stands back up again, looks at Elijah, and says, "You've been in the middle of a battlefield before, yes?"
Not that I can
That's what
remember, but yes, I imagine so, given my missing arm.
Yeah, considering your missing arm, how much do you think you trust yourself to protect Nora? I'll be there, yes. But just between the two of us and a massive battlefield full of guns, crazy magic people, do you trust yourself? Do you trust me to be able to stop this girl from dying in the middle of all that?
Yes. There's very little that can sneak up on me, and anything that gets into melee with me will have to deal with you or her. She's better in a fight than I am when it comes to close combat.
Elijah, your phone then says loudly, "And I'll help."
Please,
No.
God, no.
Thank.
And then your phone goes silent. Although you can practically hear the trying to be sneaky from the phone.
No.
That's just a look of defeat.
No.
Give me the phone.
Laura's just a look of terror.
You're rich enough to buy another one. Give me the phone.
Dude, he could be in my arm. It doesn't matter what we do at this point.
Your arm says, "I would never."
My point exactly. It doesn't have
That's
a built-in
amazing.
speaker. At least it didn't have a built-in speaker until now.
It missed many features. Did you know this thing didn't even have the proper essence channels? Who built this?
Just wait until he turns it into a vibrator.
Let's
Fine.
get going.
Your arm starts to
Nora.
vibrate.
And it's official. I now have a vibrate function like Candle did.
Ben's gonna walk away. Ben is done. He's like, all right.
And Nora will
half
follow.
hour. I need a cold shower.
She walks with purpose.
Okay. We're going to start with the team going to visit the Bethlehem Crusade. Who is that?
That is Joe and Mercy.
Nice. So you guys commandeer a truck, which is very easy since the general has told everyone to do whatever you tell them to. Some people clearly don't like that instruction, but here we are. And you commandeer the vehicle and drive to the camp, which is a weird mix between a military camp and a PTA meeting. It's pretty clear that, they have some expertise because there are sentries posted, some of which are not immediately obvious. And there are, tents set up and whatnot. But it has a very strange air to it. These people are not soldiers. They never were supposed to be. As soon as you arrive, a sentry comes out from behind a bush and holds a hand up to stop the vehicle.
Mercy gets out of the vehicle and keeps walking.
On the
Okay.
way, Joe will have told Mercy that given that he his attempts to be his being reasonable is not well received, he'd prefer that she do most of the speaking.
Understood.
Okay, so you approach. The sentry says, "Who are you? What are you doing here?"
I'm the Zenith, and I'm here to speak to the leader of your camp. Let me through.
I'm
I'm gonna flex presence.
Great. He immediately folds like a fucking house of cards. He's a dad. His greatest strength was saying no to his child. So he leads you to the middle where there is a very grim barbecue. Several people are standing around it, cooking food, but there's a very dour air to the entire thing. It's like you've walked into the most depressing version of a backyard grill.
Sorry, I'm imagining the stereotypical dad outfit for grilling, and then just his face is fallen, and he's just flips a steak.
I mean, kinda, but it's clear he's cooking for a lot of people. It's not just simple grilling. It seems to be military rationing, or at least a civilian's idea thereof. Anyway, so a woman who has a no-shit Karen haircut turns around, sees you, and goes, "Oh, you're those people that wanted to talk to both sides." And a couple people in the circle around you chuckle. Very darkly, but they chuckle. One of them is cleaning a rifle.
You are correct. I'm the Zenith of this solar circle.
Oh!
And I have come here to speak with the leader. Is that you?
We don't really have leaders. We're more of a commune, really. We all have a purpose, though, and that purpose is to stop any more kids from getting hurt. Do you need me to explain that in more detail, or is that enough for you to hear our
Need you
side?
to not be condescending to me.
She
I'm
looks at
flexing
you.
presence.
Okay, cool. Roll it.
Sure. Let's go.
This woman has a shocking amount of willpower.
Oh, neat. That's my supernal ability.
Do it to it. Let's see it.
Alright. Charisma and presence?
Charisma and presence, yeah.
Okay. Give me a
Zenith
second.
versus Karen. Who will win?
I demand to speak to your manager. I am the manager, glowing with sunlight.
I can do multiple charms at a time, right?
As long as they are not simple charms, yes.
Alright. That one's a simple, so ignore that one.
No, you could do that with all these others, supplemental and reflexive. That's fine.
Sick.
Yeah. Okay, so let's see here.
So,
Listener swaying
Mercy-
argument.
So Mercy goes into the second level of... So Mercy goes into burning animal level.
So sunlight is now radiating off of your body.
Yeah.
She can use personal to start, but if she doesn't want to, then she doesn't have to.
I'm
No.
not.
I think that's part of it.
Yeah.
All right, you begin glowing with sunlight, and please make
So-
a check.
Okay.
But if you want to do your stunt, go ahead.
So Mercy draws herself up straighter in this camp of parents. They're scared. They're being assholes because they're scared. But Mercy is the Zenith. Mercy is the fucking God King at this point in time. She has fought the darkness. She's literally fought back the darkness in an area that there was no hope. And she will reforge this world in brightest orichalcum. By her will be done. This
Neat.
bitch will listen.
You can have
Hey, fucking men.
you can have a point of stunt. This bitch will listen. Listen, Karen, I am the ultimate manager. Get on my fucking level.
Okay.
My manager is several realities away.
Yeah.
You want to talk to my manager? Bed thrower.
Okay.
Go directly to Sun. Do not pass go. Do not collect $200.
So that's 1 automatic success, 3 bonus dice. 2 automatic success. She is arguing from a principle of a major principle of desire to help those in need.
Okay,
So
that's
how
3.
many bonus dice that is?
That's 3.
That's 3? Okay.
2 is for minor, 3 is for major, and 4 is for defining.
Yeah. And as a reminder, the next time this fucking Karen decides to speak against me, she's gonna have to pay a point of temporary willpower.
Yep.
So
Go ahead and roll it. Let's see if you beat her guile. I mean, Mercy absolutely will.
and I'm
There's
doing
no
full
way
excellency,
that
so
This lady will be able to resist, but I'm about to drop the fucking hammer on her emotions, so this should be fun. 9 successes. Jesus. She doesn't have 9 guile.
good.
I have not. I'm maxed and I have 9.
Yeah. No.
Consume flatulence,
Resolve not
Karen.
guile, but yes.
Sure. She's immortal. Her maximums are less than that.
I was concerned.
Anyway, so this woman, bolstered by the suffering that she has experienced, with a drive a singular purpose, the likes of which most ancient heroes never saw, immediately breaks under the presence of the Zenith. The absolute sledgehammer of the God King of this world's will. And she bursts into tears, hitting the ground and weeping openly. She's repeating something over and over and over, and it's clear that you have entirely broken her. On top of that, everyone around her, everyone who can look at you and see you, all bursts down or bursts into tears and breaks down just like she is. Some worse, some not as bad, but in one way or another, you have now reduced this entire camp to blubbering messes. No,
That's
they
why I
don't,
sent
Blair.
her.
That's the point.
Mercy,
Just wait.
keep speaking.
Cool. Anyone want to hear what she's saying?
Yes.
She's repeating a name over and over and over.
Which name?
Emily.
Are other people repeating names?
No, just her. Most other people are just crying or are devastated.
Okay. She was standing next to a table, right?
No, it was like a circle with a campfire in the middle, and there was a grill nearby.
Okay. Is there something near? Like, I'm just gonna say there's something nearby I can stand on. I'm gonna 2 dice on this, please.
Yeah, you stand on a rock.
Yeah. I pull my rock out of elsewhere and put it down.
This is my stunted rock.
Mercy steps up on a nearby table that had been being prepared to be used for food and addresses the camp.
Okay, you look out at a sea of broken parents, each of them having suffered a loss that no one should ever have to suffer. Each of them in their own way coming to grips with the fact that despite doing everything right, they still lost that they cared most about. And they chose, instead of breaking down and becoming wrecks of human emotion, they chose to go and fight for other parents, specifically, so they would never suffer the same fate, the same horrible reality that these experience on a daily basis. And they're all broken because you came in here and flexed your spiritual weight to get them in line. The last straw, the last little thread of ability they had to keep themselves together, the stubborn refusal to lay down and cry, was utterly shattered by your ability to flex your social muscle. You're now left with a weeping, pitiful army.
Am I? Let me stunt, please.
Go for it.
You have all experienced horrific loss. Loss that no one ever should have to go through. You're right. I didn't understand your plight. I didn't see that there was more. What I do know is love. Love for your families, love for the people in your life that are important. Love for others. And that is where we need to pull our strength from. Not this hatred against the people that are supposed to keep us safe. Not against the ones that have been stolen. They're the ones that you don't need to be fighting. I need you to fight with me. I need your strength behind me as the Zenith. I need you to I am here, as ordered by the unconquered sun, to reforge this world in brightest orichalcum. There can be no brightness without love. There can be no brightness without care. I need your help. I need you to help me fight against those that have stolen children, those that have enslaved the minds of others, to help push back against this darkness, to bring light into a world that is left without light and hope. That is what I need you to do. And Mercy hops off the table and approaches Karen.
Her name's not Karen, but are you make a check? You gonna make a check, or?
I was just making a speech. Do you want me to make a check?
I do, yeah. You can have a dive stunt.
Okay. But I stood on a table.
Yeah, I know, but it wasn't a rock, so.
Okay.
Actually, no, you're right. You did stand on a table. That is technically to stunt.
I said there was a table.
You expanded the narrative. You fleshed out the world as per the stunt requirement. I hate that I'm doing this, but yes, you can have another dive stunt.
Yeah.
You invented a table.
Yay.
I stand on a shitty plastic table.
It breaks halfway through my speech, and I break my leg as I fall down.
And die. You get scurvy and die.
I'm gonna use impassioned discourse technique again.
Okay.
And listener swaying argument again.
Alright, do it.
Because the other two were
Still
scenes.
active.
Yeah. And I am using my present specialty of speaking to crowds. And full
Okay.
excellency.
Fair, do it to it. Roll good. Calculating.
So,
1 success. Woof. That sucks. I'm sorry to hear
Jordan.
that. 22 successes. Okay. So...
May I finish the last thing?
Sure.
Mercy approaches Karen.
Her name is not
I know
Karen.
her. That's nice.
Okay. After your speech,
Okay.
she's looking up at you with a new resolve in her eyes.
Mercy looks down to Karen. I know her name is not Karen, but fuck it for now. And she reaches down a hand as if to pull her up. And she says, "For Emily."
And she takes her hand and nods. Sorry, something just happened. The pattern spider did something that threw me off. Okay, she nods very seriously and stands up. Says, "For Emily." I had a name for this character but it's been changed. So let me just update something.
Okay.
She is now Karen.
No, she's
So
still
I was
not
right
Karen.
the whole time.
She's still not Karen. All right, so while that is happening, what's the other party doing?
We're gonna head to the storm.
The storm is not where the Princesses of Tears are. It's coming from the north.
Probably where the Queen of Storms and her ilk are.
Yes, let's fight.
The reason why I think it might be in the direction of the storm is because the last time that we encountered anything like the portal powers, it was in a very stormy and windy place.
That is true, yeah. It's not even close to the same.
So that might be our safest option.
It's not at all. This is a bad idea. Okay.
Well, it's safe, but it's a good start.
So you guys are going to commandeer a vehicle and head towards the massive storm brewing on the horizon?
Yeah.
All right. Y'all ever
Such a
seen?
bad idea.
Y'all ever seen Twister? Anyway, so you pile into a military truck and start driving towards it. The storm is massive, and as you get closer, you notice the lightning is not blue, it's green.
You really sure this is a good idea?
Nora, looking at it makes you really angry. But not like...
Grr.
Oh my god.
Grr.
Not angry at, like, at anyone in particular, just angry at the way things are. Like, just filled with, like, a hatred of the fact that you are about to go to war despite the fact that you're a child. Like, this is unfair, and it fills you with rage.
Grr.
You can't fucking deal with this. Okay, it fills you with rage to look upon it.
Would you say that Nora is raging against the machine?
Nora is apparently an angry raccoon.
Grr. Erg. Blah.
Oh my god, please. Alright. How long are you guys gonna drive towards it? The storm itself is like a few hours away.
Is there an eye of the storm? Is it like a hurricane?
No.
That's where I must go.
Not that you can see.
I'm gonna drive with my window down so that I can keep track of, like, if I do catch the brief scent of any Wojtek.
Okay.
But it seems like the best bet right now for the direction of where the portal will be, because there's nothing else that's Wojtek in the area.
Well, I mean, you guys do know where the Princesses of Tears have their camp as well.
Do we know if they have a portal? Was
No.
that explicitly stated? Okay.
Mercy says,
Really?
Elijah rolls down his window so he can stick his head out the window like a dog. Gotcha.
I'd rather fuck on and get better results.
What?
Oh.
I feel like that would go against the whole goal of avoiding direct combat and driving straight into it.
Yeah.
So I'd rather drive towards the area that we don't know what we're going into, because then I can't get yelled at.
Excellent legal defense.
If I don't know what I'm going into, I can't get in trouble.
Sure, let's pretend that's true. Okay, so that's going to take you a few hours to get to.
Ooh, okay.
The other camps are much, much closer, but if you want to go there, no problem. I am going to
really
go back
do.
to the other scene.
Okay.
I do not want to bring Nora anywhere near the Queen of Tears, or her princesses or whatever.
Okay.
As long as we know where they're generally located, it should be good.
All right, fair enough.
It's the storm people, that's an unknown element at the moment.
Sure, they're one of the unknown elements.
Ugh. That's really a bad
real
idea.
quick for confirmation, going back to the boat, was that lightning green? The one that the
Oh,
lightning
no,
that-
God, no. It
Okay,
was
cool.
normal lightning.
Just checking in. Perfect. I'm not confident about driving into an army of demons.
I mean, for all you know, you are. Anyway, Mercy, Karen, introduces herself as Trudy.
Whoa.
She says, she explains that everyone here in the Bethlehem Crusade lost their children one way or another to these queens who apparently have been recruiting kids and turning them into monsters for some war that she never really understood. She talks about her daughter Emily, who so Trudy got together with her husband. Things were going great. They tried to have kids. It didn't work out. Eventually, she learned that she was infertile. and it would never happen. She kind of fell to despair for a while. Her and her husband weren't doing super hot. They eventually started to recover from that and like rebuild their relationship. There was a lot of kind of hurtful things said on both sides of the marriage, but they were patching things up when she got pregnant, which is huge. She shouldn't have been able to do that. Doctors were surprised, but it's not technically possible, but it was incredibly unlikely. And she managed to carry the baby to term, and Emily was born. She was an incredibly doting mother. Just the way she talks about her daughter, you can tell that she was absolutely there for her. She did everything she could to give her daughter every possible leg up that she could. She made sure to take care of her without ever smothering her. She kept up on her schoolwork and PTA meetings and taking her to extracurricular activities without taking away her entire life. Like, she seems like she was a really good mother. And she did such a good job, apparently, that her daughter blossomed into a princess. And not long after she did, her daughter took her own life. Every parent in this camp has a similar story. In some, their kids disappeared. In others, their kids were found broken and bloody and never recovered. And in a huge number of them, their kids took their own lives. All of them are here, Trudy explains, because they know how important it is to hold on to your children, and they don't want any other parent to ever suffer like they have, to be punished for raising their kids well. She also shows how incredibly out of her depth she is. This camp is, militarily speaking, not well put together. They've suffered massive losses. Their force is literally half the size it was when they showed up. But this is the first chance they've ever received as an organization to strike back against a queen. There's a lot of... there's a ton of Princesses of Tears here, and while they obviously don't like being in a fight against them, they want to get at that queen so they can prevent this from ever happening again. They're probably not going to make it.
Mercy sits and listens to every story.
Okay.
Every parent that is here that has a story of the child that they lost, Mercy sits down with them and listens to their story.
Okay.
And at the end, she nods. Okay. Alright. So, I will fight the queen.
She looks relieved.
I don't want to dishearten you, but this is not something any non-exalt should deal with. That is why I'm here.
She kind of looks around, and they all look a little guilty for some reason. Can I get a check, please? Can I please get a perception and socialize check?
Is Joaquin permitted to also make this check?
Abso-fucking-lutely.
I'm going to try and stunt it very briefly. He's been watching this entire time. He wanted to understand. And as Mercy took the brunt of the conversation and the focus, he was able to watch and learn.
Okay, sure. You can have a point of stun.
Cool.
That was
Hecky?
really weird. Yeah, I don't know what happened on my end. I was talking and then all of a sudden you stopped. You asked for a roll and then I asked what roll and then it just went quiet.
Perception and socialize, please.
Okay.
The pattern spiders are saying that's fucking dark, and my response is, yep, that's princess. Actually, technically, this is hunter, but who's counting? Okay. You guys both notice that that reaction was weird. Almost like they know that they're not going to make it out of this. Joaquin, you realize that they aren't really intending to. They never were.
This pain has broken you.
She looks at you for a second and then says, it's not that really. It's... If we go out there and we fight and we win, then we save everyone else. But even if we don't, I get to be with my girl.
They say that a person dies twice. Once upon their actual
She
death,
holds her hand up and says, please. It doesn't help. Let's just kill this queen. If we could save even one girl from turning into one of these things, that's enough for me.
And yet we also need to learn how to prevent this in the future. If we kill the queens, what's to say another one doesn't rise?
She looks genuinely horrified for a moment.
I'm sorry.
Everything we could find says there never has been any more. There's just the one. Maybe two.
What do you mean everything you've found?
Well, we share information. Tim's kid over there, his son was saying that he was serving a place called Alhambra, which they apparently all gather in, and the queen there, the Queen of Tears, she's the one who's doing this. Some of them say that their kids talk to mirrors a lot, so there might be two, but I think that's it.
We also know of a Queen of Storms.
She looks to the north meaningfully.
Joe looks to the north.
There's a big fucking storm on the horizon.
And he says, I fear we got off to the wrong start. I am the Twilight, and my function is to understand. I understand that a queen is defined by what she rules, but also by a throne. And that if one queen is deposed, another can rise to take her place, at least in the ordinary world. I need to understand that if we kill this queen, that something worse, or just as bad, something stronger won't simply rise to take her place.
She says, okay. Let me talk to the parents. And she turns around and walks away. It's clear she's more processing than talking, but...
Yeah.
Mercy pulls Joe off to the side.
I'm sorry. I don't believe in hiding what there is to worry about.
I know. I don't think they intend to survive this.
I got the same impression. But maybe with our help. He shakes his head. Maybe we can help them to survive this.
Yes. my thought was that we would try and combine our forces. I know. Just real quick, Jordan, out of character. The military was fighting against these.
The military was planning to
Crusaders.
attack both sides of this conflict.
Okay.
They have since been told to stand down and gather information.
Okay.
No, they hadn't received the go-ahead order yet. Apparently, the government was dragging its feet for some reason.
Okay. What we would do best to do would be to combine these forces. If we can get through to that queen, to that dreamland, if there is such a door, then
Then
at the
we can
very
make-
least we can.
We can be as a beacon for this other queen. And he lowers his voice to make sure that only Mercy can hear him with her
Okay.
supernaturally good hearing. This other queen, the one that Nora trusts.
Mm,
Okay. At the same time,
For the record, Joe very well may be rolling limit here for the simple act of having hidden the existence of the Queen of Hearts
Do it.
from these people. So I'm just going to do that.
okay. At the same time, Nora, Joaquin, and Ben are in a rain-pelted car underneath the edges of a storm, approaching what appears to be a convoy.
Joe is with me.
Yes.
Joaquin, hey?
Sorry, Elijah, my bad. What appears to be a big convoy of mismatched vehicles driving at highway speeds toward the battlefield, surrounded by a number of people who are just running at highway speeds besides the vehicles.
I could just imagine like Nora's in the car, like barely being contained by a seatbelt, being like, "I feel so alive."
Actually, yes. Being in here,
Put on your seatbelt.
being in the
And then pull
storm,
princess.
being in this storm fills you with purpose and rage. You want to do something. You have to go out there and fix the fucking world. There's one person who can do it. It's you, and every second you waste not going out there and killing the darkness is another second it gets to do what it wants.
Nora, calm down. Jeez.
So, one of the people takes off and starts running faster than the rest of the convoy toward you. You note as it gets closer that it is it appears to be a man of a earthy brown complexion, but he's got some kind of thing causing his skin to glow in places. A green glow. Once he gets in front of your vehicle, he stops and holds his hands out as if to catch the car.
Oh no.
No crash.
I will dodge. I'm gonna roll
All right,
drive.
yeah, give me a Dex and ride check, I suppose. Mercy's just like, beep, beep, bitch.
Buddha, save me.
Imagine being Ben in the situation. Well, I just got this real intense look on his face, doing some like hardcore driving. There's a storm outside. You're approaching what appears to be the fucking convoy from oh god, what was that? Mad Max. And in the backseat, there's a child absolutely losing her goddamn mind.
Like she had a bunch of sugar. I know she's supposed to be 17, but it's really hard not to play like a younger child.
I mean, whatever works for you, dear. You are a pretty sheltered kid, so. Alright, 10 successes. So, you, knowing that it moves, it can move at highway speeds, you start to list one way, and it easily moves to keep up with you. Then you jerk the wheel back, it dodges in that direction, and then you jerk it back the other way, and it unfortunately can't keep up. So you blow right past it. You're about to be in a head-on collision with about 15 different vehicles.
Okay.
I just heard... Okay, hold up. I just heard through my wall, wife going, ah! But it didn't come through Discord. So all I heard was a screaming through my wall.
Amazing.
Are we able to recognize these people as princesses, or
Can I feel
do
them
they
as
have the
princesses?
regalia?
It's hard to tell. They're in various, like, when I say various vehicles, I mean everything from, like, big rig semis all the way down to motorcycles, and every vehicle pattern in between. You do note the one thing they all share is all of these vehicles are pretty beat up, and some of them have obvious modifications to the outside, like metal plates bolted in place. These people look like they came looking for a fight. But no, you can't see them specifically. By the way, you're still about to be in a head-on collision with, and I cannot stress this enough, a convoy.
I'm gonna try and turn around.
Sounds
Good
good.
This was
idea.
a mistake.
I told you this was a bad idea.
So you dodge around the, like, weird guy, and then you're like, yeah! Oh, wait, shit.
So as Elijah dodges past the guy who just tried to stop our car with his body, he's going to very quickly say, this was a mistake, and
Agreed.
spin the wheel as fast as possible to rip the car around, to turn around so that they're essentially in front of the convoy.
Okay.
And then, yeah,
Alright, cool. You can have a stunt. Give me another check, please.
yeah, I'm gonna use excellency here.
This whole time, Ben's yelling, I told you this was a bad idea.
And I'm gonna spend a point of power.
Okay. 15 successes. Okay, you successfully perform a 180 turn using your handbrake, a whole lot of essence, and your natural skill as a driver. You manage to just barely avoid being absolutely obliterated by a semi, and you pull up next to a semi-truck driving at maximum possible speed. On the back of the semi, the trailer that it's carrying has been covered in armor plates, and it's painted on the side of it in red paint is Hell or Bust. A tall woman with a half-fade haircut opens the passenger side door, sticks her head out. She's got an AK in one hand. On her hip, there's a mean-looking machete, and she is wearing a full red dress that looks like it's been torn to pieces. She sticks her head out, looks in the back of the car, and says, "Good! We're going to kill the darkness." And we're gonna end there.
Yeah, darkness!
What the fuck is happening?
What the fuck? Elijah, I think we fucked up.
I don't know if we did or not.
I don't know.
We're gonna end there for tonight, guys.
Storm Army.
Yeah.
So Jordan, next game, can I just assume that I'm still in my regalia?
Yes, you're in full regalia. It's actually really easy to maintain right now.
I imagine I'm very poofy in the back seat.
Yes, pretty much. And this lady took one look in the backseat, saw you, and smiled. Anyway.
Yeah!
Alright, guys, it's the end of the night. You know how this works by now, and if you don't, what a weird time to learn how this works. You have, so the players get to vote for who they thought their favorite character of the night was, and of course the Pattern Spiders get to pick their BFFFFFF as well. So I'll set up the poll for that.
Jordan, do you mind if I go first?
Not at all. We'll start with Aki.
Alright, so I have to vote Nora for possum screeching solidarity.
Yeah.
And also, like, Nora's been killing it in the RP, so
Yeah.
I just wanted to appreciate her.
There goes the
and-
plot. Must follow it.
Yeah, so I love Nora, she's great, so I wanted to
Yeah.
show my
I
preach.
literally handed Wife this character and said,
I know.
explained the 3 scenes that she had been in, and Wife was like, I got it.
Yeah. And because I gotta pop out before Wild Mass Guessing, Mad Max intensifies.
Yep, 100%. Confirmed.
Yeah.
That's not even guessing, that's just a fact.
Mad Max plus Rip and Tear intensifies.
Literally,
Some weird
yes.
mashup of that.
Literally, yes. Imagine frilly Doom guy driving a Mad Max rig to go murder some fucking queen. To go murder an emo queen. This is such a weird game. Oh, fuck. Alright, thank you.
We gotta come up with, in our Discord, what the, battle music is going to be for the scene.
Fuck.
I
Who They
posted
Fear.
in the maze.
It's Who They Fear.
From what? I'm gonna Google it and have it playing for.
Or the only one they fear, possibly? Anyway, it's the Doom song. It's the one
The
you're
only
thinking
one they
of.
fear is you.
Yes, the only one they fear is you. Which is about demons being afraid of something. Anyway, thanks.
I wonder why.
Thanks, Saki. I appreciate you. Alright, next up, hello, darling. Who would you like to vote for tonight?
Ooh. I think it's going to have to go to Aki for the scene where she's convincing Ben. And it's just so sweet and tender. And there was lots of really good Mercy moments, like, Mom, thanks.
Alright, cool.
On a fucking table. She did.
She did, yeah.
She did. So Mercy.
Alright, fair enough. If you could put that in the chat somewhere, I'd appreciate it. Sam, my good man.
It's gonna be like I'm on the verge between Mercy and Ben, but I'm gonna go with Ben for today for being in a war zone and being like, you know what? No, I'm making some decisions now.
Mm-hmm.
All
right, fair enough. I agree.
I think it's the first time he's like been willing to stand up for like no against even members of his own circle, which is awesome.
It has been nice, yeah. I agree. Speaking of Ben, hey Sue Crown.
Fuck.
I'm gonna give it to Mercy for Karen sit down.
All right.
And just laying them out.
That was the moment I chose to flip the emotional stakes there too. I'm a sneaky bitch. All right, fair enough. That is a good moment. Speaking of Elijah, do you want to go again, Aki, or no? I'm kidding. Which how's it going?
Oh, wow.
Going all right. Honorable mention to Mercy for basically pulling the I am the ultimate manager card.
Yep.
But my vote will ultimately have to go to Elijah for this sweet ass car moves out of an action movie.
Yep. I feel like there
Also
are 4
vibrating-
movies happening here.
Also vibrating arm, very nice.
And Jordan, you really need to have Jackie driving in here somewhere.
Jackie canonically became a Princess of Tears, didn't she?
No, I mean Orpheus Jackie.
Oh.
Remember her driving skills?
Yeah, I do. Yes, I do. All right, let me tally votes here. So we've got 2 for Mercy, 1 for Ben, 1 for Elijah. Am I missing anyone?
Me.
1 for Nora?
1 for Nora, right. Yes, I missed it because it was surrounded by possum screeching solidarity.
Yes.
Okay. So, the winning vote will go to Mercy. Congratulations, Mercy. Or Aki, you were the winner of the player vote for tonight. You get a free solar XP. The Powder Spider's BFF was, to no one's surprise, Nora, probably for the insane possum screeching. The Pattern Spiders are very easy to please.
Yay! They love me. They really, really love me.
They do, yeah. So you get a free full XP.
Yeah.
Everyone else, you can have 4 and 4. Let's go big.
All right.
Your blue booking for this week is not blue booking.
Understandable.
I don't know what you're talking about.
Half of us are in the saddest PTA meeting.
Yeah. So from my perspective, there's basically 4 movies happening here, 4 genres. There's Mad Max. There's like this weird whiplash, like kind of cult classic sort of like parents fighting against an impossible odds, but just in memory of their kids, like one of those really intense, heartfelt stories. There's a straight up military flick, and there is a emo, like depressive film noir on the other side. And all 4 of them are about to fucking collide. So that's gonna be a time.
And somewhere in there, there's Disney.
Yeah, and somewhere in there, there's like
Disney
the
princess.
classic Disney fucking succeeding against all odds. Yeah, so 5. Anyway, wild mass guessing. Let's.
I'm sorry. I need to add a 6th. Some seriously dark horror film.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's just kind of like par for the course here, though, right?
Correct.
Chad has said, or sorry, the Pattern Spiders have said they're easy to please via cheap entertainment and possum screams.
Got it. What is it? Pattern spiders can be bought.
Yeah, they absolutely. Pattern Spiders are not only bribable, they're a really cheap bribe.
Yep.
Anyway, wild mass guessing. Let's do it to it. I'm going to start with Witch.
The lady in the red dress is actually Cthulhu, and she's gonna be turned on by the vibrating hands.
Jesus
No,
fucking
leave
Christ,
my girl
Witch.
alone.
She's dead. God.
I couldn't help myself.
Clearly.
And Witch is just dying.
I'm sorry, but you made it canon.
It is canon, yes. Speaking of
No.
vibrating
That's-
arms being canon, hey, Crown, how you doing?
Yeah.
Firmly disturbed. I think that I made a mistake in driving into the store, but also maybe not, because they seem to not want to kill me, so...
You absolutely made a mistake, but also all of these factions have their own like ideas and goals, and killing you is actually not the goal of the Princesses of Storms. So I tried to figure out what they would do, and having more soldiers to go into battle with sounds like the princesses or the Queen of Storm's forces would love that shit. You guys are not gonna like them, but they're gonna love you.
Goody, I love that.
Yeah, I did try to
great.
hint that it was the wrong move, but you know.
Yeah, but I
tried
don't want
to
to like.
tell you.
I don't want to meta that and be like, "Oh, the GM said this is not the right move."
I've never gotten mad at someone for picking up on one of my hints. But it's
Oh,
way
what's
too
this?
late for that. Anyway,
What's this? A mistake?
pretty much, yeah. And now you guys are gonna have to live with that. Hey, Sam.
Okay. So a big old battle between princesses. We haven't seen the Mirror Princess, but I'm guessing more princesses and some really sad parents is about to happen, and we are right in the middle of it. Also, there's still gonna be void text somewhere in here. So, like, my guess is we're gonna involve a 4th group of princesses because Queen of Hearts, and it's just gonna be a clusterfuck.
I mean, it's already a fuster clock. But yeah, 100% confirmed. That is exactly what's happening here. I promise all of those things will appear. And before you ask any further questions, hello, my darling wife.
Hello, how are you doing?
I am very... God damn it. I'm great. Wild mass guessing, my dear. What's going on?
So it feels like we are definitely in like this epicenter that everything is converging into one spot, and I think that one spot is a portal, and that's where I'm heading, and I'm gonna just blast it with all the light I've got. Pew!
Nora just straight up tapes a disco ball.
Yeah.
Oh, God.
You mean
It's-
James?
It's definitely a Panic at the Disco.
Oh, God. Aki, you said you were leaving before Wild Mass Guessing, but you're still here.
I know.
You want a Wild Mass Guess?
No, I already did.
She couldn't
No,
help it.
it was Bob came in the room, so
I see.
he was saying goodnight.
Well, that's it, guys. That's going to be it for tonight's session. We will possibly be having our final session next week.
Whoa.
We are
Yeah.
very close to the end here. And I will now spring this little tidbit on my players who have been very patient the whole way through. I do not currently, nor did I ever intend to resolve all plot lines. The idea behind this world is that it is a world. You are a part of it, but in future, if I wanted to run another game in this world, I could. Part of what I've been doing for the last, 6 months or so, has been setting up plot threads that you guys aren't really a part of. Some of those you've explored a little bit, others you've missed entirely, but do not expect everything to be answered in this campaign. That is not the intent. The intent is for you guys to meaningfully, positively affect the world in a big way, and I think you will do that. But, for example, you're not going to be able to... I can confirm that at this point you can't figure out what's going on with your church. You just don't have the time. You can't figure out what's going on with the mages, or the demons, or all kinds of shit.
Yeah.
Ben will go demon hunting afterwards.
That's kind of my idea. So, the idea I had for a future campaign, which I am not doing right after this one, I will keep it in mind, but I'm making no promises, is that I could run further games in this world and include a mechanic where, say for example, I ran a princess game in this world. You guys are princesses. You would be given a certain number of dice per session that would be called exalted dice, which are a reflection of the exalt's actions in the world, making something more likely to succeed on the side of good. Or,
Nice.
say I was playing a vampire game in this world. I could have exalted dice opposed to my players because the world sucks for vampires now.
Why is there so much sun?
Exalt. Ben falls, everyone dies.
Yeah, literally.
Out of the sky, because he's got athletics charms.
Anyway, we're very close to the end, and I just wanted to let you guys know that while you will be making a big difference in the world, you still shouldn't know what to expect, because I have picked the storylines that are going to get resolved, and I'm not telling you which ones they are. So for my wild mass guessing, the story will end in the next session or two maximum.
That's pretty wild. I don't know.
Yeah, I don't know if I could confirm that, but
Yeah.
I 100% confirm it. Okay, that's going to be it for us for tonight. Guys, I will be back tomorrow evening at 6 p.m. Pacific Standard Time. I'm starting a new series. We're going to be playing a game called Control. It is a super cool game, very cinematic. It is sort of what if SCP Wiki, but you have a gun. It's going to be a really fun time, and I really encourage people to come check it out. Guys, you want to say goodnight?
Good night, everybody.
Yeah.
Have a good night.
Thank you, Pattern Spiders,
Night,
for your
night.
participation, for your weaving.
Thank you, Pattern Spiders, and guys, I'll see you tomorrow, and until next time,
Bibbles.
Bibbles!
Nibbles.